What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the TMG Experience. I'm your host, Matt Beer, and we got some topics to talk about today. We got a certain reporter's NFL MVP race and somebody you might not expect to see on that list of theirs. We got Thursday night football predictions that is happening tonight between the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. We got some NBA predictions, who's going to the finals, who's going to make the playoffs. We're going to talk about our After Dark show. It is a go, and I'm excited. I'll get into more details probably in the next couple days, but I'll talk a little bit about it today. And then I'm going to be kind of covering each player that I can think of on the top of my head that's in Sports Brawl, that had a match, and all that good stuff. Now, please forgive me. It is early in the morning, so I might forget some things. I might kind of fumble on my words and whatnot. So if I do that, I am very sorry. I just got off third shift not too long ago, so I'm pretty tired right now. But I figured, you know what? I want to do a morning show, or, I guess a mid-afternoon show, or even an evening show, depending on when you're listening. I've always wanted to do something like that, just talking about whatever's going on in the world. So here we are. I'm not going to be perfect at it, but you know what? It is what it is. This is something I'm aiming to be 20 to 30 minutes long. I don't want like an hour-long show. I just don't want that right now. My sanity cannot keep up with it, with the amount of sleep I will lose from that. So there is that. Now, this is episode 2. This is actually the first episode to be on YouTube. And I'm an idiot because I did not realize that for some reason my phone cannot download things very well. The only reason why I'm able to download videos onto my iPhone is because I have an app on my phone, Documents, that actually lets me download it. However, it won't let me do that with Anchor. So I record it on Anchor. That way it could go out to the, like the podcast things like Spotify and all that good stuff. But I couldn't figure out how to download the audio. I just couldn't do it because my goal was download the audio from, from there and then put it on, my editing app for videos and whatnot, and then just have like an image or whatnot, and then just upload it that way. However, I didn't think about doing it through my editing app because that's how I'm recording it. So my audio might sound a little iffy at times. I mean, you'll hear me fine, but you might hear a little noise kind of from time to time. So I do apologize in advance. So if I decide, hey, I'm going to actually, put this on Anchor so it could be on the podcast feeds, because I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. It depends how I feel. If I could do that, I'll do it that way. Just start with the video first and then do audio. But, it is what it is. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I wanted that first episode to be on YouTube. I just thought it would be a little better, but it is what it is. And that was not recorded yesterday. It was recorded, what's today, Thursday? It was recorded Tuesday. That was the first ever episode. I wanted to do an episode yesterday. However, there was nothing to talk about really as far as what I could find that I found interesting, because how this show is going to work is I'll talk about what I want, but I also want you guys to leave suggestions. So if you have anything you want me to talk about that happened sometime after this went up, just comment below on the video or on the Facebook page that I attached this video's link to. Just comment on there, let me know, and I'll probably say, hey, let me know what you guys want me to talk about tomorrow. And then I'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll do box office predictions tomorrow. I'll do that and whatnot, because there's actually a pretty decent amount of stuff coming out. And unfortunately, I work tonight, or else I would actually have a review of El Camino. But we'll talk a little bit about that and my excitement for that as well. So let's get into it right now. I guess we can start with El Camino. Obviously, if you don't know, and there are some people that probably don't know what El Camino is, because for one, they don't watch the Emmys, so they didn't see the Breaking Bad trailer. And two, until they added that little Breaking Bad story, nobody that pays attention to the internet as far as seeing what movie news is out there and whatnot. They just kind of go, oh, this trailer looks good, because they see it in a movie that they go see. It's like, oh, I kind of want to go see that movie. Or if it's Star Wars or Avengers, then they'll see it online. But a lot of the times, you don't see like a I don't know. Let's just take Booksmart. People aren't looking up the trailer for Booksmart besides us movie fans. That's about it. And I'm talking like the fanatic movie fans that is like anticipating all this stuff and is kind of in that this little bubble that like Collider does their stuff with. The John Campea show does his things with, yada yada yada. We're in a bubble. So there's people that are not in the bubble, and there's a lot of them, and they probably don't know what El Camino is. Um, Heck, I didn't even know what El Camino was until I actually read a little bit more into it. If I didn't read into it, I probably would have been like, oh, it's just a straight to Netflix movie, whatever. I'll check it out eventually. But no, finding out it's Breaking Bad, I'm like freaking out right now. I'm so excited. Um, obviously seeing the return of Jesse and everybody from the show that's still alive. That's going to be exciting and all that good stuff. I love Aaron Paul as Jesse Pinkman. I think he's perfect in that role. And honestly, I think he's a great actor, period. I think he does a lot of really good stuff. We look at, for example, The Path. I thought he was really good in that. He was in Need for Speed, which, I'll be honest, I kind of like Need for Speed. It's not a great movie, but I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a pretty decent movie. It is fun. And I do like the movie. Aaron Paul does make a weird crying face in that movie. I kind of remembered the trailer. It looks like he's in pain. So I mean, I guess that works in a sense, but it just looks a little weird to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But then he was in Exodus, Gods and Kings. I believe that's the full title. Ridley Scott's movie. Um, I mean, he did have a role that like really just blew up and made me go, oh my god, Aaron Paul is amazing. No, I saw him there and it was like, oh cool, Aaron Paul. I love him in Breaking Bad. And he's good in the movie. He just doesn't like stand out, like a Bale or Edgerton or whatnot. But no. And honestly, I don't hate that movie. I actually think it's an okay movie. I think when you look at the biblical movies that came out, as far as like the big studio stuff, not the Pure Flix, stuff they put out all the time, it was like that Noah. I like Exodus more. I don't know. It felt more, I guess, it felt closer to the story in a way. I mean, I don't think that matters really. Just make a good movie. But it kind of stuck closer. Noah, yeah, I just didn't like Noah. Maybe he was like that. I just didn't like it. Russell Crowe, he just seemed like a dick. I don't like that personally, but that's just me. Um, but no, he was good in that. But other than that, he really hasn't broke out. He's in Westworld, season 3. That's really cool. And then he was in Central Intelligence too. I really liked him in that movie. But there's not a whole lot that he did. He did that one like military movie with Helen Mirren. Um, and I mean, that was probably, it was fine. I don't remember much of it. I saw it in theaters. I don't remember much of it. But yeah, I love that El Camino is coming out. I'm just excited to see what they're doing with this Breaking Bad world. And as far as how I think it's going to go, Jesse's living. He's not going to die. He's not going to die. They're going to do another show. I really think there's going to be another show. Vince Gilligan did not flat out say this is the end. He said, I thought when we did the series finale of Breaking Bad that was it. But, obviously there was something more. So I think there's going to be more to it. I think we're going to have, a show centered around Jesse, or I don't know, maybe a prequel of, I don't know, something. You're going to get something with Jesse. And honestly, I think in El Camino, Bob Odenkirk's going to appear. I personally believe that. I think you're going to get a scene with him and Jesse. I don't know. Maybe Jesse goes to oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking on it. The cinnamon roll place where Saul goes. He's like a manager. Cinnabon. He goes to Cinnabon in Nebraska, I believe, is where Saul went. I don't know, but I do think you're gonna get. I think you're gonna get Bob Odenkirk in there. Look, Bryan Cranston is gonna appear in this movie. It's gonna be a flashback. that's the only way I can really see him being in it. Maybe a hallucination. Maybe he's starting to see things and he sees he sees Walter in, maybe in some of the movie he sees him and it's just in his head or whatnot. I doubt they'll go that route, but I do think it's going to be flashbacks. Look, Bryan Cranston wants to come back and play Walter White. He does. He said if he has an opportunity to return to this world, he would totally do it. And I think that he mentioned that when he was being asked about Better Call Saul, when that was starting. He basically said that he owes Vince Gilligan a lot for giving him the role for Breaking Bad as Walter White. And I believe it was Matthew Broderick that Vince Gilligan was originally looking at. So that would have been very different if he would have been in the show. I think he would have been good still, but it would have just been weird. So that's my thoughts. I'll get more into it probably next week, Monday, when I talk about it, because I will be watching it Friday afternoon before I go to work. So that's what I'll be doing. So let's get into my main topics. That took longer than I thought. So I'll kind of fly through these so we can stick to that 20 to 30 minute mark because I don't want to go over because I want to sleep today. So I'm going to try to pronounce his last name right. But CBS Sports Network reporter, I believe he's a reporter, but he works for them, Adam Shine, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he works for CBS Sports Network. That's pretty cool. He has put out his MVP list, his top 5 players. Basically, if he was doing MVP voting and whatnot, and he was going to list it, he put out 5, and you get your Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson. You get those guys, but somebody I saw on the list that I thought was very weird, and I did not expect. But when you think about it, I think it makes perfect sense. I think it actually fits. Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson was number 4 on his list. And for those who don't know who he is the Indianapolis Colts offensive lineman. He is in his second year. He's pretty young. But this dude is a beast. He is one of, if not the best offensive linemen in the NFL at this moment. And he was already last year in his rookie year. This dude's a monster. Like, literally, he would pick up defensive linemen that are trying to push through that, could actually break through the offensive tackle or the line in general. And sometimes it needs 2 people to hold him back. Quentin Nelson picks these guys up, basically, and throws them to the ground. Quentin Nelson's a monster. He is outstanding. And honestly, him, Costanzo, and the other guys on that Colts offensive line, they're making the job of Jacoby Brissett and Marlon Mack so much easier. And Hines and Wilkinson, I believe that's his last name. It's Wilkins or Wilkinson. He's making their jobs a lot easier. That whole line is, but Quentin Nelson's legit the guy that kind of leads that whole thing. It's not Ryan Kelly, which you would kind of think maybe because he's a center. But it's Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson, I think, should be considered. Obviously, he's not going to be MVP when it's all said and done. It's going to be a quarterback or a running back. Christian McCaffrey, if I can speak right, he'll be in that mix. Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, they'll be in the mix as well. Maybe Deshaun Watson. And I don't know. Maybe Jacoby Brissett. I don't know. He's right there as far as leading in touchdown passes. We don't know. But yeah, I just want to bring that up. I thought that was pretty interesting. In a family group text, I believe it might have been my uncle. I don't know on the top of my head, but he sent a picture of that guy's top 5, and Quentin Nelson was there. So that's pretty cool. So we have that. That'd be kind of cool seeing offensive linemen win MVP. That would be amazing. So there's that. Now let's get to After Dark. After Dark is coming. I don't know who exactly is going to be on the episode. I might appear on the episode. Honestly, it depends on StreamYard. It doesn't work really well on my end because I just use a phone. I don't have a laptop or else I would do that. But basically, After Dark is going to be a show where we're not going to hold people back. We're going to let people do what they want and say what they want, and it'll be fine. I expect to hear a lot of, in the show, I expect a lot of things that are super adult to be brought up. And the tricky thing about the show is we could talk about farts and boobs and I don't know, whatever. We could talk about private parts, all just a bunch of like weird things we could talk about. But I don't want the show to just be one of those, listen to his fart. That's so funny. Oh, the boobs, boobs. Oh, yeah. Some girl goes, oh, that dick's big. I don't want that. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't want that. I want the show to have a certain, I don't know, a flow that won't get old after 3 episodes. And I think everybody that's going to be on the show understands that. And I think we're going to be fine. The main thing was kind of figuring out when the best time is to start this show. I know we got some people on. We'll let you guys see when we actually start the show. But I'm pretty excited. We will not reveal anything we talk about, although we might talk about Halle Berry and Catwoman. That might be something because that kind of sparked this idea of After Dark. So there's that little update on that. It's happening. I don't know when we're uploading it. I don't know the time, but we are going to be recording the first episode pretty soon. So once we have a day and time, I will definitely share that. So there is that. Now let's get to Thursday Night Football. It is the New England Patriots versus the New York Giants in a Thursday night game. I'm gonna let you guys think for 3 seconds. Who is the favorite of this game? Of course, it's New England. New England's the favorite in this game. And we'll go into why real quick. I don't know what the point spread is. I'm not too worried about that. I'm just going to give who I think is going to win, kind of how maybe I see things flowing. Let's get into that right now. So, look, I'm going with New England. I'm always open to an opportunity to be wrong, especially with this. I would like the Patriots to get beat, and not only get beat, but get smoked. I would like that, but it's not going to happen. New York is just not good defensively. They actually are really bad. The Giants would be in a much better position if their defense was better. And I honestly think Eli Manning would still be starting if that defense was better. That team was so bad, man. And yeah, I mean, look, Daniel Jones comes in. He gets the win against Tampa Bay, which is actually turning out to be a pretty decent team. But they get the win against them. And then they go in, they beat Washington. What a surprise. And then they go and they lose to Minnesota pretty good. But you have Daniel Jones. He comes in, he wins the game and whatnot. And he has a 2-1 record. Oh, that's so cool. He's good, but I mean, let's be real for a second. He's not the best quarterback in his draft class. After that first game, people acted like he was a god. And look, I don't blame them. I think Daniel Jones in the future will be pretty good. There's no way the Giants would have took him for as early as they did if they did not see something in this kid. They had a pick a little later on in the first round still. So honestly, they probably could have picked up a defensive player or something they needed and then waited and then grabbed Daniel Jones. Now maybe Washington takes him and then you have to take Dwayne Haskins, which Dwayne Haskins might be the worst quarterback drafted in the first round. He might be. He's not ready. But anyway, Daniel Jones, he's gonna get destroyed in this game. Bill Belichick does not lose to rookie quarterbacks very often, if at all. New England's gonna win this game. This is how I see it going. First quarter, it's gonna be close. Second quarter, New England's going to have maybe a 7 to 10 point lead. But then you're going to get to the third and fourth, and New England's going to win by like 21 or something like that. Daniel Jones will not be terrible in this game. He will not be as bad as Baker was against the 49ers. But he will not do good enough to get this team within the distance to win. So that's my predictions. And what a surprise. New England is going to beat the Giants. Sorry, Harloff. But that's what I'm going to go with right there. So, we're almost done. We got 2 more topics left. We are making great progress. Credit to me. So, I'm going to go fly, because this will take faster. I'm going to go through the NBA predictions super quick. I'm going to give you guys my predictions on who's going to the finals and a team that might shock you and make the playoffs. Who will have the number 1 record in the West? Because there are a lot of really good teams in the West. Somebody's going to get that number 1 spot. Do I think the Lakers will take it? Do I think the Clippers will take it? The Rockets? The Warriors? The Pelicans? I mean, who knows? But we'll get into it right now. So, I'm going to start out, and this might be a little backwards, but whatever. I'm going to start out with my NBA Finals predictions. And I will say up front, this does not dictate who I think is going to get the first pick in the West. This does not. We've had many number 2 teams go to the finals in the East or West. Number 5s. We had some number 8s. We had a lot of people go to the finals that were not ranked number 1 in their conference. So, you got to think about it. It's especially with the West, you got to think about it, because the West is going to be stacked, and it's just going to get a lot harder once you get to the playoffs. I know I'm fumbling on my words, but whatever. I don't care. I'm going to fall asleep doing the show because I'm tired. But anyway, in the East, I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics. I think Boston is going to the NBA Finals this year. Not only that, I think they're going to be first, even over Milwaukee. Milwaukee was number 1 in the East last year, and I believe Philly was number 2. I could be wrong, but oh well. I think number 2 is going to be a fight between Philly and Milwaukee. If I had to predict, I'll give the upper edge to Milwaukee. Just because I trust Giannis more than anybody on Philly. Although Ben Simmons hits a 3, life-changing for Philly. They're going to go 82-0 and, I don't know, maybe make the finals, or they'll get beaten in the Eastern Conference Finals. Point being, I think the Celtics go. They added a very, very big key piece in Kemba Walker. He is a huge upgrade from Kyrie Irving. And look, Kyrie is super talented. Talent-wise, probably better. If we're going to be real, probably better, talent-wise. But when you look at it, the attitude, kind of, I don't even want to be here type thing Kyrie had. Kemba doesn't have that. Kemba, it seemed like he was going to play in Charlotte forever. I'm so happy for him that he's not in Charlotte anymore, because he was never going to go anywhere in the playoffs or anything in general. So I am happy for him. But yeah, he's a big upgrade. He's great in the locker room as far as what I understand. So I think he's going to fit very well. Kyrie was not the greatest, I guess, in the locker room. Not the greatest to, kind of be around. And Boston fans were kind of sick and tired of Kyrie Irving. So I bet they're happy. So yeah, I got the Boston Celtics going to the finals, and this is where it gets hard. This is a very difficult thing. But I think at the end of the day, when you look at the teams, and you look at the body of work that they have, I'm going to give the edge. I'm going to give the edge to the Clippers. I almost said Celtics. Celtics, Clippers, I think that's going to be your finals. Although if the Lakers get there, Celtics Lakers would be like a classic matchup. Um, Reason why I have the Clippers going, I just think they're a better team all around than the Lakers. I think the Lakers are a great team, but I think the Clippers are just better. Lakers have LeBron and AD, I get that. But look, I mean, the Clippers almost had multiple opportunities to almost take down the Golden State Warriors when they had a healthy Kevin Durant um, last year in the playoffs. I like what this team has. This is a great team defensively. You have Kawhi Leonard, and you have Paul George. And I'll be honest, I don't think Paul George is a top 5 player in the NBA, but I think he's going to be great with Kyrie. So with them in Chicago, or I said Kyrie, with Kawhi. So yeah, with them in Los Angeles on the Clippers, I think that's a really good thing for them. And I honestly think the Clippers go to the finals this year. Whether they win it or not, that's a different story. But that's kind of what I have. So, and I could be wrong. They might have been to playoffs, but I doubt it. A team 80 left to join the Lakers. He left this team to join the Lakers, and that is the New Orleans Pelicans. They were able to draft Zion Williamson, which kind of was an obvious pickup, in my opinion. I mean, come on. You're going to take him. I don't care who you are. You take him. Zion, to me, is going to be a freak of nature. And I'll be honest, I think Lonzo Ball is going to be so much better than he was on the Lakers. For one, he's away from his dad. He's not going to wear the baller brand shoes anymore that I guess were falling apart during the game. Had to change them every quarter. I mean, come on. Those are horrible shoes. I almost got them once. I almost did. But I didn't like the fact that LeVar basically said if you can't afford my shoes, then you're worthless. That's kind of the attitude I got. He's like, you're not a big baller if you don't buy my shoes. Well, sir, I don't know if I want to spend $500 on your cardboard shoes, okay? God, they were falling apart during basketball games. Maybe that was screwing Lonzo up. But I'm telling you right now, I think Lonzo and Zion are going to be a great pair. I think that's a pair to watch out for. So, yeah, I think that's a team that's going to make the playoffs in the West. But who do you knock out of? You got to knock two because I think the Lakers also get to the playoffs. So, two teams that made it are going to have to be booted. Maybe the Spurs. Maybe they get booted. And I don't even know who else. The West is just tough. I think the Rockets might sneak into the finals too. But yeah, it's just rough. So yeah, I think as far as the West, two teams that are going to make the playoffs that didn't make it last year, Lakers is an obvious. That's kind of why I said two. But if I was going to pick one, it would be the Pelicans. Take away the Lakers, of course. The Pelicans, I think, are going to make it. It's just going to be hard. It's going to be really, really challenging to do. But I do think the Pelicans and the Lakers both make it. And if the Lakers don't make it, I think that would be hilarious. Because it's like, oh, Anthony Davis, you left us to go to Los Angeles? Are you kidding me? Okay, whatever. But yeah, I like what the Pelicans are doing. So yeah, that's what I got. And then as far as the East goes, to me it's not a surprise and I won't be shocked. But some might be shocked. The Chicago Bulls, I think they're going to make the playoffs, not as a number one team, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But I think that 6 to 8, they absolutely can, and I'll tell you why. Offensively, this team can keep up with about any team besides maybe 2 or 3. They have a lot of weapons offensively. You have Levine, who legit can put 40 to 50 points a game down if needed. You have Otto Porter Jr., who's going to be a beast. He looked really good in Chicago last year when he got to Chicago. Actually gave him a high five and shook his hand when I went to a Bulls game last year. Basically sat courtside in a way, like a couple rows back. But that was cool. But you have those two. You have Markkinen. Uh, he's great. I'm so glad that there was no trades made with him. That guy might be the best player on the team. He is so good. Power forward. He's a monster. You have Wendell Carter Jr., who's going to come back from an injury. I think he's going to be much more improved. Then you have Kobe White. Kobe White is a rookie point guard from North Carolina. Yeah, this dude's quick. He's fast, and he is not afraid of anybody. I think he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I understand I'm over 30 minutes by now, a minute. I'm going to try to wrap this up quick. I am so sorry. We talked mostly about sports. This is not what I wanted to talk about today, but whatever. Not like the entire show. Of course I want to talk about these things. Anyway, but you have them. Then you have some good bench players. Like you have Daniel Gafford. I believe that's his first name, Daniel. Yeah. Daniel Gafford, rookie, just dominated. Dominated in the Summer League. I haven't seen much of the preseason, but Summer League, he was a beast in that first game. This dude has potential. He looks good. Chicago Bulls front office did a great job with that. Then you have Thaddeus Young. He's going to be a really cool key player to have for the Bulls. And then there's this other guy, I don't know his name, but he was on the Knicks, I believe. I think he's going to be a pretty good role player as well. So, yeah, I think the Bulls have improved, quite a bit. Yeah, they have some weaknesses on the bench and whatnot, but I do think, especially on the starting side, this is a young team that if they develop right and if Levine can improve his defense more, this is a team that might actually put a lot of teams against the wall that maybe you wouldn't expect. Like maybe even Boston. They might be in a position like that. So, yeah, that's my predictions right there. As far as who's going to be first in the West, I am going to go, and it comes down to 3 teams to me. I believe it's going to, 4. I believe it'll either be the Clippers, the Lakers, the Rockets, or the Warriors. I think it's going to be one of those 4. I think the Jazz are going to be pretty good. Nuggets are going to be another one. I think, at the end of the day, thinking about the teams, what they have, yada, 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 I'm going to give the edge to the Clippers because of what they did in the playoffs last year against one of the best teams historically. And of course, that was before Kevin Durant got hurt, Klay Thompson got hurt, and all that good stuff. They put them on on their heels. They did. The Warriors were on their heels. They were about to fall. Clippers just had some dumb mistakes, cost them a game or two. Honestly, they might go to the final. They might go to the finals. I have them in the finals in my predictions, but they might get that number 1 spot. And if I had to pick any team in the West, I would probably go with them. Sorry, I'm fumbling on words again. So that's kind of my predictions. MVP, I'll probably say Giannis. I got to see what they do in the regular season. I'll bounce back to that later. So there's that. And now we got Sports Brawl. I'm going to try to wrap this up in 7 minutes at the absolute most. Sports Brawl. It's our sports debate league. That's why I thought this would be a great episode to talk about sports mostly, because we're going to be doing this anyway. So, Sports Brawl is a league that doesn't have a ton of people, but we're open to having more. And I believe we have some more coming in. I just don't know what they're going to do in this league. So indulge me as I go on the top of my head, which is probably not good. So, we'll start with myself. I'm in the league, and I'm not even going to talk about myself other than I think I'm kind of that guy that can kind of hang in the top 5 to 8 type player. Probably will never win a belt. It's fine, whatever. If I do, I'll be shocked. So we'll go with that. Then we have Cody Newberry. And I know I'm going to forget some. Actually, no. Never mind. Cody Newberry. What can you say about Cody? He is probably... Actually, there's no probably. He's the greatest debater for movies that you'll find anywhere. for movies, video game, any of the topics we have, sports, yada yada yada. He's the best. Honestly, he might be perfect for politics because he's so good at this stuff. Like as far as the political debates, I think he would probably dominate everybody on the stage. You put him on anything, he would dominate. So yeah, I have Cody Newberry. Look, Cody Newberry, he's playing in a championship match later on. It's hard to go against a guy that's never lost a match and has a few belts on his plate. So, and he could be getting an additional one after Sports Brawl, which is just bizarre. But yeah, so Cody Newberry, he's a guy that obviously everybody needs to prepare so hard for so they can try to get a point or two on Cody. It's hard to beat him. So we have that. Sean Wasserkrug, I actually played him. We went to round 4. Sean is the guy I think that could take on Cody and give him a run for his money. I don't know who would win between the two, if I'm going to be honest. Because just because you're the best doesn't mean you're going to be undefeated forever. But you have Sean, man. Sean is a beast when it comes to debate. This is a guy that I don't see a lot of people taking down. I think people like Cody Newberry could potentially take him down, but anybody else, I just don't see it. This is somebody who not a lot of people really gave, I guess credit. I don't know. My brain's dead right now. They did not have confidence in him, though, as far as when they were making their picks on who was going to win, how far they would, each player would go, yada, yada, yada. That whole thing. So, yeah. Sean is a guy I think that could really compete with Cody. And that Sports Brawl match is going to be outstanding. Make sure you watch that. It's going to get heated. Those two will get heated when necessary. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. So we have them. Then we have Ryan Payne. Ryan, he is somebody, at least in my opinion, that can debate. He knows how to debate. He's not a bad debater. He's a good debater. It's just kind of like with me. Some things just don't come out, I guess, out of his head, like to his mouth. You don't see a lot. There's some things he forgets to mention, I think. This is somebody, I don't know. This is somebody that's a dark horse. Honestly, I think Ryan could make a big run. But Ryan, he is going to have to make sure he sticks to his points and attacks and make sure he has everything he needs to win, as far as some counterpoints he could potentially bring up if somebody tries to counter a point that he made, yada, yada, yada. Ryan is somebody I think you should watch out for. He's pretty good. It's pretty good. And this is where it gets a little tricky. We have Jacob E. West. This is somebody that is a really good debater. Jacob is a really good debater. His only problem and why he lost his first match is because he had to go up against Cody Newberry in the first round. Not something you want. He was able to get a point, though. He's a good debater, man. You give him a week, he's damn near unstoppable. He really is. Jacob is one of our best. Honestly, if I had to put a top 3 ranking, I'd probably go Cody, Sean, and then I would go with Jacob. My God, this dude knows how to debate. So yeah, I would watch out for him. I honestly think he could make a run for that title. We'll see. Then we have Alec Miller. Alec Miller is somebody who I don't know what his potential is in sports, because he was kind of put in at the last second, it seemed like, for his match against Cody, and it kind of showed in that way. But Alec is somebody who can get a knockout. He has a knockout on his plate in a different league, but he does have a knockout. He is somebody that really could improve and could be a threat. I think all of these guys could be threats, but I think Alec is somebody who could really become a threat. But we'll see. So, I can't remember who else I talked about. Or who else played. I don't. Shit. Oh, I can't remember who Sean played. It's super early, guys. But yeah, that's my player profile. I tried to get through that as fast as I could. We're at the 40-minute mark, which means it's time to go. I want to thank everybody who checked out this show. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Also, check out some of the other stuff we have on this channel. I really think you guys are going to enjoy it. We have 6 debate leagues on this channel. We have Nerd Fights, we have Game Zone, we have Choke Slam, we have late TV fights, which will also be up later today. So make sure you check out that match between Malcolm Lay and Cameron Holtzman. I believe that's his last name. But Cameron versus Malcolm. Make sure you check that out. Sports Brawl. Check all that out. We got Chunky Boys. Soon we got After Dark coming. And we got more coming down the pipe. Maybe. We'll tease a little more as we have more information on potential things we might bring if that ever happens. So that will do it for today's episode of the TMG Experience. Thank you for listening. I've been Matt, and I will see you tomorrow.